The patrons have spoken. Dynasty Trades in 5 with some actionable advice on Stefon Diggs, guys. A 12-team Superflex, PPR, 1.75 tight end premium, start 10. Scott, Stefon Diggs and Pacheco or Tank Dell?
Man, so we got 2 Texans receivers involved in this deal now, and you're getting a free Isaiah Pacheco on the side with Diggs. Diggs was, I think, wide receiver 32 before the trade. I've seen people absolutely saying he's crushed because the 2 guys there are already better than him, and I've seen people saying he's now more valuable in Houston than he is in Buffalo. So without even getting into that debate, I will take the free Pacheco. Odds are they don't produce a wide receiver 1, meaning I'm fine kind of taking any of the 3 receivers as one of my innings eaters, but I'll take the bonus on top of whatever I can get. So give me Pacheco and Diggs pretty easily here.
Shane, if I told you this was best ball, would that change your mind at all, or how would you form your opinion here?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Best ball would make me even want Pacheco and Diggs even more. Scott says it's easy. It's not easy in lineup leagues because there's a non-zero chance that Steph Diggs is completely washed and a complete malcontent. There's a reason that people keep moving on from him. Like, if you get divorced once, it's both your faults. You get divorced twice, you're probably the a-hole. I'll keep it clean, PG-13. So all that said, yeah, I'll still take Steph Diggs and Pacheco and then see if I can flip Steph Diggs because there's a non-zero chance that dude's finished.
I have a friend who was divorced 9 times, and it's always their fault. Here's another one for you, Scott. 12-team Superflex PPR, 1.75 tight end premium, start 10 once again. Diggs and a 25-second, or you're getting a quarterback here, Bryce Young.
Yeah, this one's closer. This one probably depends on what else I can do with Diggs. Can I move him for a first? Can I move him in a deal where I get something better or something that I don't necessarily think I'm settling for? But I also think if I have a quarterback and I just play out the scenarios of, hey, Bryce Young could look a little bit better. And yeah, I know that he's been completely forgotten and basically crapped on since last year and deserves it. But I also think if he comes out and he looks competent, he's right back to someone will move something of more value for him. So I would actually be fine getting out on a receiver. You got to give up the second here. That's the tax. But I would be fine getting out on a receiver like Diggs for Bryce Young with the plan of I have more flexibility with Bryce Young as we get closer to the season or in the season.
Shane, how are you going to play this one?
Yeah, I don't know that you have more flexibility with Steph Diggs excuse me, Bryce Young as opposed to Steph Diggs in the second. I have 0 Steph Diggs in fantasy, right? I want to go move him because I think he's not going to do well in Houston. But you do get a 25-second. Like Bryce Young, if I want Bryce Young, I should be able to get him for the 111, 112. So if I really want Bryce Young, maybe I go dip into that stash and make that move, or maybe a 205 and something else and see if I can move Steph Diggs for a first.
Scott, one of the most common questions we're getting in the Discord and all over social media is, does the Steph Diggs signing hurt Nico Collins more or Tank Dell more?
I think it hurts Tank Dell more right now. I think he's the one that's fallen the most. Underdog, FFPC, he's fallen the most in the last couple days or the last 36 hours, whatever it's been since the trade. But I think in the long term, it may end up being where, like Shane said, Diggs is the one that still falls even more, even though he changed scenarios to a different team, that he ends up just faltering. And probably, if I had to say, a year from now, we may be saying Tank Dell is the Texan you want. Nico Collins is the guy who's headed to free agency or in a, as Shane likes to say, we're in a dispute with the Texans, whether they want to pay him. He probably gets franchise tagged, and then they can let Diggs go if he's not good. So I think I could see we're in 12 months from now, we're talking Tank Dell as the one I want. But I think in the short term, he's the loser. He's the one that if I had to say who's going to get the target share week 1, it's not going to be Tank Dell. It's going to be Nico and Diggs.
Shane, let's help our 10-team leagues out there. We have a 10-team Superflex PPR 1.5 tight end premium start 10.
108.
Stefon Diggs or the 108?
108. You didn't even need to finish. 10 anything. 109, 108, 107. I'm out. I'd be ecstatic to get that for Stefon Diggs right now. Yeah, I mean, what is Steph Diggs? What is he really? He's the third leg in a triumptive. It's never good to be the third leg. There's 3. That's 3 people. Tank Dell and Nico Collins are both going to outproduce him.
Scott, I'm going to change this up on you in a single quarterback, 108 or Stefon Diggs.
single QB, unless I can do more with the pick, I'd be fine taking the Diggs side on that. Is triumptive a word, Alan? You heard of that one before? That feels like a made up one on the trades.
Urban Dictionary. Urban Dictionary. Yeah.
Most definitely is a real word.
All right, everybody. You have heard our experts now. You sound off in the comments. Which Texans wide receiver will have the most fantasy points in 2024?